Hi and welcome to the Through Night channel. So in today's video we're going to be discussing the purpose for strobe mode. Now strobe mode is a mode in flashlights that basically turns the light on and off very repetitiously, very fast. So it literally works like a strobe. Now over the years I've talked to lots of different people about flashlights, and once in a blue moon the conversation about strobe mode will pop up and people will basically just ask what it's for. I know that when I put this mode on, it just blinks really fast, but what does that do? What's the purpose of it? And that's what today's video is all about. So first, let's go over these lights. On the left here, we have the Through Night Archer Pro. Next to that, we have the Through Night Catapult Mini. In the middle here, we have the Olight Baton 3. To the right of that is the Olight Baton Pro. And on the right side here, we have the Nitecore P10i. Now before I continue, I do want to give everyone a warning. If you have some kind of a medical issue with quick flashing lights, you might want to skip this entire video because I'm going to be using strobe on and off throughout the rest of the video. So let's take a look at these modes. Now on this Nitecore P10i, this happens to have a dedicated button for strobe. So this is strobe. All right, very quick blinking. On this Baton Pro, 3 clicks. That's strobe mode, and the same for the rest of these. The regular Baton 3 clicks, we have strobe. On the Through Night Catapult Mini, 3 clicks, strobe. And the last one here on the Archer Pro, 3 clicks, and we have strobe. So now that we all know what strobe is, what is the purpose of it? Well, there are 2 major reasons that strobe mode would be good to have in your flashlight. Number 1 is defense, all right? Besides self-defense, number 2 for strobe mode is to get someone's attention. All right, so we're gonna break these down into 2 different things. In both scenarios, strobe mode is used in somewhat of an emergency. Now, when people talk about self-defense, a lot of people automatically assume you're talking about different types of weapons. Maybe it's a firearm, maybe it's a knife, a baton, a stun gun, pepper spray, you name it, right? How do you defend yourself? Well, it's not just with physical force. You can defend yourself using a flashlight, all right? You can use light to your advantage. Any of these flashlights we're looking at on the table here have enough power and enough light in strobe mode to completely disorientate an attacker, all right? Which gives you enough time to get away from that bad situation. So let's play out a very common scenario. Let's say you're at the bar and you're having a couple drinks with some friends, everything's great, you're having a good time. Maybe you turn around and you accidentally bump into some girl. She falls over. It was just an accident, right? But all of a sudden, her boyfriend or her husband, picks her up, looks at you, gets mad. Hey, what's your problem, buddy? Start getting into an argument. Okay, now you're outside and you're about to get into a bar fight. That's a pretty common scenario, right? It's just something that totally out of the blue happens, and now all of a sudden, someone's looking to physically hurt you. Now, the definition of self-defense is defending yourself, okay? I'm not talking about some situation where you're the aggressor or you're causing problems. The idea is you're trying to get away from a bad situation and someone intends to harm you, okay, physically. So instead of just automatically going for some kind of a weapon, if you happen to have a great flashlight in your pocket, all right, especially in this scenario where you have someone who might be a little tipsy, a little inebriated because they were drinking. Generally speaking, people drink at the bar at night. All right, so you're outside, it's dark out, this person's a little bit disorientated. So let's say you have this Through Night Archer Pro in your pocket, right? You may or may not have other self-defense weapons. But if you think this person is going to attack you with empty hands and no weapons at all, you might not automatically want to go for something like a knife or a firearm because those could be lethal options. You don't want to escalate the situation. You just want to get away. But let's say you can't get away. Well, your flashlight could be a fantastic tool. If you whip out your Through Night Archer Pro and you hit that 3 times, all right, you can now distract this person. If you have that strobe, and I'm going to flash this at the camera here, all right, that is very distracting. If you wanted to attack me right now, how are you going to easily do that? So the whole idea behind the self-defense option with strobe and a flashlight is for quick disorientation. So someone is absolutely not prepared for that scenario where they're going to attack you and all of a sudden they have this blinding light in their eye flashing. It completely throws off their vision. They're going to close their eyes, rub their eyes, and that gives you just enough time to get away. That's the whole idea behind it, okay? Now this also works with animals. If you happen to be in a scenario where there's some kind of a predatory animal that may cause you harm for whatever reason, it might be some kind of large wild cat, It might be, you know, a bear, who knows? It could be a domestic animal. Maybe you're just walking down the street and someone's walking their dog, and all of a sudden their dog is very aggressive towards you. It doesn't mean you have to hurt the dog. If you're trying to get away and the dog, you know, seems extremely aggressive, and let's say it's on a leash and it gets off the leash or something, you don't automatically have to hurt that animal. You could, again, grab your flashlight, whatever it happens to be. All right, 1, 2, 3, and you can disorientate that animal, all right, long enough to get away from that bad situation. So that's the first thing you can use strobe for, is self-defense, okay? Non-lethal self-defense. You are never going to cause permanent damage by flashing a light into whatever animal's eyes, whether it's a person or an actual animal. It'll just distract them enough so you can get out of that bad situation. Now, besides self-defense, the other major reason why you might want strobe mode in your flashlight is to be able to get someone's attention in an emergency. Now, this could be a million different scenarios, but let's just say, I don't know, let's say you're, you know, lost in the woods. You went camping, you had some kind of an issue, now you're kind of lost. You know, people are looking for you, you're looking for them, you're trying to survive. You're surviving for your life, right? Let's just say you happen to have your Baton Pro in your pocket, right? Now, let's say you're 2 or 3 days into this survival situation. You've used your lower light modes, conserved your battery, and you know now you're close to rescue. You've been walking, you know, for days through the woods, and you could see a road, but the road is quite far from you. Maybe it's still 2 miles away. Maybe you're completely exhausted at this point, you know, and being so tired and being so hungry, you can't yell. You know, so using tools like your flashlight can help get people's attention. If you throw your strobe mode on, all right, and you face this towards that road that might be a little bit too far for you to yell for anyone to hear you, or it's too far to walk at that moment, you need to stop and rest, maybe someone sees that flashing light. Maybe they report it to the police, and maybe they investigate it, and maybe you survive. Maybe they find you. Now, of course, that's a very specific, extremely rare case that most of you, if not all of you, will probably never be in. But there are more practical reasons. In any scenario whatsoever, if you need to get someone's attention and they're just a little bit too far for you to yell for them, you can always flash that light. And that is extremely attention drawing. Okay, anytime anyone sees that flashing light, they're going to wonder what it is. You know, they're going to go investigate. That's the whole point, is that you want them to come to you for whatever reason. Now, although there are other reasons why you might want strobe mode, those are the 2 major ones for me. Now, it's not something I use in my daily life, but it's something that I really appreciate is there in case I ever need it. Again, that has more to do with the idea of being prepared. So hopefully this video helped you to understand what strobe mode is and see how useful it can be. So that's it for this video. If you guys are not familiar, ThruNite does product giveaways. If you want to enter, all you have to do is comment on these videos and subscribe to this channel. It's completely free. Thanks for watching.